Have you ever felt stuck under a bad leader and you're not able to leave your job because of financial reasons or just where you are in life right now? If you can relate to this, you are absolutely not alone. A bad boss can make you feel powerless, undervalued, and sometimes even question your worth. But here's the thing, just because you're stuck doesn't mean you're helpless. Today, what I want to do is dive into how to navigate working with a bad leader when you don't have any options other than to stay. I'll walk you through 5 strategies that not only are going to help you survive, but in so many ways thrive. Plus, I'll share an interesting research tidbit about toxic leadership that's going to give you even more perspective with what you're going through. By the end of the episode, you'll feel more in control, even in a tough situation. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with something fundamental. I have experience working with bad leadership, as do you, as do your friends and your colleagues, and everybody that you possibly know has had this issue. So what is interesting about this type of experience is when we feel like we are not seen or the leader is not who we expected them to be in their role. I guess the first thing I want to do usually is run as fast as I can and not look back. And that's not necessarily the most reasonable option for all of us, right? There are times where leaving doesn't make any sense because you are paying a mortgage, or you just had your first child and you are growing your family, or you are just happy with the people that you work with, but this leader is unfortunately the one that's causing you the confusion of just where you are with this company and whether or not you want to be part of this team. So what do you do in those situations, right? I mean, so many times we sit with executive coaches, and usually one of the pieces of advice they give is, if you are not happy, go somewhere where you're happy. And that is actually a very sound advice. It takes time. In the job market, especially today's job market, leaving is not that fast. I had a friend of mine that had recently applied for senior level positions. It took her 6 months to find something. It took her a long time. And that's the reality of today. The more experienced you are, the more you have a difficult time. And funny enough, even the opposite can be true. The less experience you have, the less likely it is that recruiters are looking at you. So you are left with this bad leader and you just can't do it. You are having a very, very difficult time. I've been there. It's tough. It is tough because you want to do what you love. You want to fall in love with your job, or you may have this amazing love for what you do, but this person's ruining it. They're ruining the experience for you. Okay. So the first advice that I have for you is reclaiming your power. When you're working under a bad leader, it's easy to feel like you have no control. They hold all the cards, but I am going to share a secret with you. That is absolutely not true. You have power, more than you realize. And it may not be the power to fire them or change the way they lead, but you do have control over how you spend your time, how you prioritize your work, and most importantly, how you respond to them. So here's a quick exercise. After this podcast, I want you to grab a notebook and list all of your strengths. What do you bring to the table? Maybe you're an amazing problem solver, or maybe you are a go-to person for keeping projects on track. Write these down. Keep them somewhere visible. This reminder is going to help you shift your mindset when your boss's behavior starts to get to you. And here's why. We always assume whoever is leading us is this fantastic leader, has great strength and great potential. And that's just not true. Sometimes people get into leadership roles because of who they know, or sometimes they are just better as individual workers, but they rise up into a leadership position without any training and leadership development. So you're not seeing the big picture. They have weaknesses. They have areas of opportunity. So this is a reminder that you're going to have, and it will shift your mindset when your boss's behavior starts to get to you. So focus on what you can control. You're taking the first step towards reclaiming your power. You're telling yourself, hey, I am valuable, even if my leader doesn't acknowledge it. And that is huge. That's something I can absolutely relate to, which is actually going to lead me to the second advice that I have for you. Do not seek validation from the wrong source. Now, here's the thing. Our managers, our leaders, our executives, whomever you report to, okay? I don't want to say don't believe in anything they say, especially if you're dealing with a good leader. A good leader is a good source. They provide you opportunities. They also, what makes them good leaders is they also see you. They see your talents. They see your skills. They see how much you have dedicated to their team. Bad leaders don't do that. Most of us crave validation. Okay, it's the most human thing possible, especially from our leaders. It feels good to hear, wow, that was amazing. Oh, I appreciate you. When you're under a bad leader, that validation more than likely will never come. Or worse, you may only get the negative feedback. And I can relate to this. I had a leader. I could do so many wonderful, wonderful things for this leader. I mean, and I did, but it was never enough. I did not hear any positive feedback from this leader. You need to stop looking for their validation. And what you need to do is look inward or to people who do value you. Let me share a quick research tidbit with you. So according to Harvard Business Review, bad leaders often project their insecurities onto their team. So it's not you, it's them. I had a leader tell me that I was not where I needed to be. I was crushed. And this was a bad leader. So it wasn't a good leader. It wasn't someone that I honestly valued their opinions. But at the time I was crushed because who wants to hear that they're not enough? And then I started to look at this person's personality, this person's position. And what I realized is I could tell this person felt like they were not enough. So once you recognize that, it's easier to detach emotionally from their lack of validation. And here's a tip for you that you can do after this podcast. At the end of each day, write down one thing you're proud of. Did you meet a tough deadline? Did you handle a situation with grace? Celebrate you. And if you need that external feedback, go to your peers, go to your mentor, or even friends outside of work. They're often the ones who see your true worth, who see your true self. But I will tell you this. The more you experience this, the more that validation comes within you. If you are shaken by someone telling you you are not enough, look at yourself and see if you think you are enough. Now, the third advice is building your support system. Even in the worst work environments, having the right people around you can make all the difference. I was lucky enough with one of my bad leaders to have a community of colleagues, and we supported each other. I mean, we would call and not say anything bad about this leader per se, but vent about the situation we were in. Now, it wasn't like pointless venting. It was just more of, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm struggling. Can you please just say I'm okay? And they would say, Laylee, you're okay. So take a moment to think about your workplace. Who are the people that you trust? Who lifts you up rather than tear you down? Those are your allies. Those are your people. You can schedule regular coffee chats or informal check-ins with your people. The conversations you have can be your safe space. Brainstorm solutions, share wins, the venting that I mentioned with you. A fun example that I have is that I had dealt with another one of my bad leaders, and a week later from that time, I had a dinner plan with my team, and we had the best conversations, and the entire group was just in awe of how much we were able to connect that night. And I came out thinking, oh, as long as I have these people with me, I can survive anything. This is important because bad leaders often isolate their employees. It could be done intentionally or unintentionally, right? But having allies, it reminds you that you are not alone and it can give you the courage to keep going. Now let's talk about the fourth advice, navigating the political climate of your workplace. So about workplace itself, every company has its own political climate, a network of relationship and power dynamics. When you're working for a bad leader, understanding this climate is critical. Map out the key players in your organization, who has influence, who makes decisions, and who can help you. Who can you turn to for guidance or support? And here's the key. Stay professional and neutral. Even if you're frustrated, avoid gossiping about your boss or venting to the wrong people. Let me stress that. Wrong people, okay? It might feel good in the moment, but it can backfire in a politically charged environment. So focus on being strategic. Build relationships with people who matter and who can potentially open doors for you down the line. My last advice is plan for what's next. This is the one I was referring to in the beginning when I said most of the time when you are struggling with a leadership like this, you'll hear someone like me tell you, look for other positions, okay? So even if you can't leave today, it doesn't mean you're stuck forever. Use this time wisely. Look at opportunities. First of all, look at opportunities in your company. Are there other departments or maybe roles that may be a better fit? Sometimes we work with bad leaders. It actually helps and inspires us to think about what we've been doing for the past 10 years and say, hey, is this the right role for me? Maybe I need to go here. And if that's not the case, start building the skills that you're going to need for your next move. Take a course, attend a workshop, update your resume, update your LinkedIn profile. The other piece that we tend to forget a lot is we have a network. Network is another game changer. Attend industry events, connect with professionals on LinkedIn, start planting the seed for future opportunities. Remember, staying in this role is temporary. Treat it as a stepping stone rather than a dead end because you're looking elsewhere. This is just the pit stop. This is just one chapter of your life. So, what do you do when you're stuck under a bad leader? Let's recap. Reclaim your power. Stop seeking validations from the wrong source. Build your support system. Navigate the political climate and plan for what is next. Being in a tough situation is not going to define your career. It's just one chapter in your story. You're stronger than you think, and you have the tools to navigate this. So before I go, here's a thought that I want to leave with you. Adversity doesn't just test us, it shapes us. The challenges that you're facing are setting you up for something bigger and better. Had I not had those bad leaders, I would not be here today. It's because of bad leadership that I experienced where I thought, oh, there has to be a better way to do this. And I got my doctorate of education in organizational leadership. It is because of bad leaders that I said I can do better, and I opened my own executive coaching and change management company. So every single move you make is only to make you better. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe for more leadership insights. Thank you for listening. My name is Laylee with In Vivo Leadership Strategies, and you've got this.